Welcome to this edition of Talking Ed. I'm your host, Jason Glass, proud to be the Superintendent and Chief Learner with Jeffco Public Schools. Today we'll dive into an authentic conversation about your schools and our kids' education. It's no secret that Jeffco Public Schools is considering possible ballot questions to increase education funding in our community. The district was last on the ballot in 2016 with a mill levy override for ongoing expenses and a bond question for construction. In that election, most other districts in the state passed their ballot questions, but Jeffco did not. Today we'll have a candid discussion about the needs in our schools and how additional funds might be used. I'm pleased to be joined today by Brandy Koski, a parent and community member in Jeffco. Welcome, Brandy.
Thank you. Hello.
Thank you. Brandy, please tell us some about your family and your experiences in Jeffco Public Schools.
Sure. We actually moved here about 4 years ago from out of state, and Jeffco was highly recommended as we were trying to find a place for our daughter who would soon be starting kindergarten. And we kind of, threw the real estate dart, and we landed in Jeffco in the Foothills Elementary area, and just have been really pleased and really happy. So it's we just have one daughter, and she'll be starting third grade in the fall.
Yeah, what's her name?
Paisley.
Paisley. And tell us about some of the things Paisley's experienced in Jeffco.
Paisley started in the pre-K program and then has, stayed through primary at Foothills, and she kind of on her own accord and through the encouragement of the school has been able to be involved in an after-school theater program. She's in the garden club that just started. She's on the student council, and she's I think Foothills especially presents a lot of unique opportunities for kids to interact with a really diverse group of kids, and that has been especially valuable for her.
Yeah. In what ways have you seen Paisley grow and change in her years in Jeffco?
She's very independent. She does not have any hesitation to walk up to a teacher and say, this is what I need, this is not working for me, and they're actually responsive and they listen and they accommodate those needs. And I've been really fortunate to spend a lot of time in a lot of the classrooms in her school, and I see the same thing happen for kids across the board of, at every end of the spectrum. And I think just in my own education experience and what I've seen through friends and family and other places, that's, I think, very unique and very special here.
Yeah. You mentioned that you came from another state and that you considered other districts around Jeffco when you were moving here with your family. What are some things that you see other states or possibly even kids in other districts getting that kids in Jeffco may not have?
I think that there's a lot more access maybe to technology. And again, I'm speaking from kind of a singular school experience, but some of the labs that I see, I was in elementary school in the early 90s, and I think back often to the science lab and the computer lab that I had, and they were very tricked out. And I don't see that here. And I see what friends are posting, from other states around the country of what their kids are doing with music and theater and technology, and it's impressive, and it definitely creates a bit of longing and wanting for those things here as well.
Yeah. Tell us about some of the human needs that we might have in Jeffco Public Schools.
I think that we have outstanding teachers. We really do. They are a very special group. They aren't paid enough, just from my own opinion, and that's, that comes back to, our funding in general is just lacking. But one of the things I've noticed is it's really easy for people to speak to the school supply need, but I think the human capital is far more important. And we need to be investing in our teachers that are in the classrooms, but having those funds available to invest in additional support staff throughout the school, the para-educators, the therapists, the social workers, reading and math interventionists. I know from just watching what's happened in Foothills in the last year, I'm chair of the accountability committee there, and we've allocated a lot of the additional funds that have come through from just title and the school's budget to these support positions, and it's remarkable the way that it's helped the kids. The whole kind of social climate and culture and morale within the school shifts. It seems easy, but it's funny when kids feel supported and paid attention to, and they're not sitting in a math class struggling. They can actually keep up with their peers, that, behavior and attitude and everything changes. And I think when we can direct more funds to, again, the human capital within our schools, I think everything trajects up for the kids.
Well, that brings this segment of Jeffco Public Schools Talking Ed to a close. I want to thank our guest, Brandy Koski, a parent and community member here in Jeffco. Going forward, we'll keep the conversation going about funding in our schools. You can participate by visiting our future funding page on the Jeffco Public Schools website, or joining the conversation on social media through the Jeffco Generations Facebook page. Thanks for being with us for this edition of Talking Ed. I'm Jason Glass, proud to be the Superintendent and Chief Learner with Jeffco Public Schools. Until next time, support your public school. Thanks, everybody.